Hi. Are you ready to watch your graduates of the Helium Comedy Academy? What is this, March already, 2019? Hey, keep your clapping going for 1 second. Don't clap till I'm back at this point. If you clap before I'm back at this point, a bomb goes off on a bus somewhere. I don't know. But start clapping. I needed my piece of paper, so thanks for covering for me. I wanted to show them how to professionally do this. Guys, your first comic of the evening, please clap for Alexander Mark.
Thank you. Very excited to be here tonight. Thank you all for coming out. So, the other day, two of my coworkers were talking, and one of them said, "What's wrong with hypochondriacs?" I jumped in and said, "According to them, lots of things." Speaking of things going wrong, I went to a Titanic exhibit the other day. I know, I live a very fulfilling life. And at one point, a small child ran past me. And a few moments later, a concerned woman was calling out, "Jack! Jack!" And I gently stopped her and said, "Rose, you let Jack go." Despite the Titanic, I like being around water. The other day, it was nice out, so I grabbed lunch by a pond. And geese had flown in, and at one point there was one goose on each side of me, and they aggressively started honking at each other. And eventually one of them took flight, but it was still low to the ground, and it was going right through my head. And a bystander yelled out, "Duck!" And I said, "No, goose." That's not the only eventful meal I've had. One time I was at my apartment and wanted some cereal. So I went to the pantry, grabbed a box of Lucky Charms, and started filling up a bowl. And all of a sudden I realized it was moving. There were ants crawling everywhere. And so I slammed my fist on the counter and yelled, "They're always after me, Lucky Charms." More like unlucky charms. I saw something else really unlucky the other day. I was driving on Olive Boulevard when I saw a sign for a funeral home. And the sign said Burger Memorial Chapel. In the very next building, Burger Memorial Chapel's neighbor is a McDonald's. So then I wondered, who was there first? If McDonald's was already there, if you're the funeral home, why would you pick that to be your location? But then if the funeral home was there first, it's like, wow, corporate McDonald's is heartless. And it's confusing, you know? There's the funeral home Burger Memorial, but then there's also the McDonald's parking lot that has a dumpster, which is also Burger Memorial. When I was writing this bit, I realized that the last joke that I attached to it is the bit's funeral. So this is it instead. But what if it was like Jesus and came back to life? It's not, it's over. At best, McDonald's makes a good burger, not a God burger. I know, it's debatable. I'm really happy it's spring though. One spring I was helping some friends move furniture, and we were in the front yard at the end of a cul-de-sac. When all of a sudden we saw a funny looking car driving towards us, and it had a giant stem poking out of it. And one of my friends yelled out, "It's the Google Maps car." We instantly realized this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to post something completely ridiculous for the internet forever. So one guy, he climbs up a tree, climbs across a limb, and is hanging upside down. Another one hops into a recycling bin and is like peeking out of it. And then a few others were carrying a couch with one guy laying down like an emperor on it. Completely ridiculous. And as the car was getting closer, you could just feel the excitement coming from us. And in my life, I've seen 3 different levels of excitement out of guys. The first level is something happens and he's gonna have a great rest of his day. So it's like when he goes to a restaurant, something happened with the order and it was wrong, so he gets a free milkshake. All right, not a bad day. The second level is best news he'll get that year. So he finds out he's going to be a father. And he wanted to be. Now, the third, the highest level, the most excited a guy can get, maybe happens once in his life, is the team he roots for wins a championship. Now, you may be thinking, how is that possibly above becoming a father? Well, I'll tell you. Fans of West Virginia will celebrate a win by lighting couches on fire. Not even a championship, just a game. No guy has ever found out he's becoming a father, then ran outside and torched his car. It's never happened. Never happened. So we were somewhere between milkshake and fatherhood. So as the car slowly makes its way around the cul-de-sac, all we could see painted on the side of the car was Bing. Oh, come on, not Google, Bing? So disappointing. That's like getting a free milkshake and then finding out it's prune flavored. Or it's like drunkenly lighting your couch on fire and then waking up the next day realizing you lit your couch on fire. So the other day, a coworker accidentally sent out a calendar invite to the whole company. It was meant to just be a personal reminder, but the title of the event was Call Refrigerator Repairman. My inner 14-year-old prank caller self was very excited at the opportunity to jump on this joke, like lighting a couch on fire level of excitement. So I reply all, hey Jim, is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it. Send. I got fired real quick after that. When I was in 3rd grade, I competed in a pine carve derby. And that's when you take a block of wood and you carve out a car frame, put some wheels on it, and then you put it up on a ramp next to the other kids' cars. An adult pulls a lever so they're all released at the same time, and a race to the bottom, quickest car wins. Well, my dad works with cars, so he did all of that legwork. I just had to take the car and put it on the ramp. So my car was doing well. Kept winning race after race, and I made it to the championship run. And I was very excited. Like winning 3 milkshakes level of excitement. And in the championship run, my car looked a little bit slower than it had in the previous runs. I wasn't sure what was going on. It was neck and neck, down to the wire finish, and I finished 2nd place. I know, I was devastated as a 9-year-old. But I would go to pick up my car, and I realized it was facing the wrong direction. I had put it on backwards. Which was so embarrassing in front of like friends and whatnot. That would be like going to an interview with your pants on backwards. But instead of just walking in like a normal person, you run in and you're like sweating and panting and you knock the interviewer's water over, you know? So embarrassing. Anyway, that's a memory my brain likes to remind me of 20 years later at 3 a.m. So, yeah, I didn't go to Harvard. You probably could have gathered that, but not because of the pine car derby either. Although that would have been enough for them to be like, yeah, you're not really what we're looking for. Yeah. So some of you may have thought tonight, I should have applied. He got in. Don't worry, you wouldn't have gotten in either. But unless you have a rich relative, apparently that gets you into college nowadays. I did get into Amazon though. You think they would have some sort of barrier to prevent just anybody from buying a Harvard shirt and representing them from here on out, you know? Like, it'd be pretty easy. They could put up a question at the checkout, like, what's the circumference of this circle? Or how do solar panels work? I don't know. I wouldn't have the shirt if they had asked those questions. But now I can go around saying all sorts of ridiculous things like plants are bad for the environment or aliens are about to invade. And if someone told you aliens were about to invade, you'd just be like, okay, that's a crazy guy. However, if he's wearing a Harvard shirt, there's a small part of you that's going to think, okay, maybe he knows something that I don't. Maybe I should go with him to his bunker. St. Louis, you're wonderful. Thank you for coming out tonight.